not sure. I wonder if I could tell if I did something weird like... Anyway, I don't know how many voices are allocated to solo mode. Only one note is played at a time, but I don't know how many stacked oscillators these are. Now, with an analog synth, it's easier to tell because the variances in the oscillators let you, the amount of chorusing you hear indicates, exactly how many oscillators you're listening to, but I don't really have that option that I can think of. So it's a decently large monophonic sound, and stacking oscillators with these oscillators is way better than stacking oscillators in a synth like that has, I won't name any names, has DCOs. So what you may not notice is that with every note, we get a retrigger. So here, let's bring a filter in. So with each note that you play, you're going to get a retrigger. Ooh, almost did on the loose there. So it's a very nice monophonic sound. In addition to that, we have legato, which is the traditional mini-moog sound, where if you're holding a note, any subsequent notes that you play while you're holding a note will not be articulated with the filter or the amp. So you'll still just operate within whatever the filter and amp settings are based on the first note that you play. So if you have a quick delay or you have a low decay, let's do it over here too. If you don't have any sustain at all, you'll lose the note. So let's bring up a little more decay. So yeah, your initial articulation is the articulation that carries the note as long as that articulation will last, which is how the mini-moog works. So if you have more decay, you can play more notes. Anyway, so that is another way to monophonically play. Of course, you might imagine that that's the one I probably would go to. Next, we have Unison. And you might say, hey, Mark, we just had two different types of monophonic. What the heck is Unison doing? Well, it is, again, the stacking of all of the voices for a huge sound. And what it does is it is monophonic. But you can already hear whatever number the previous settings had, this has more. Pretty awesome. But so not only do we have a lot more, seemingly more voices being heard in this, we also have the ability to change the settings weirdly. Okay, so we go over here and press shift, and then all of a sudden there's two lights on over here. Don't be scared. Now the voices, the U size button comes into play. Of course, it's in a white square to indicate that it is shifted. So U size, let's go to the 1 LED. 1 LED means that 3 binaural voices will be stacked. So we got that going on. 2 LEDs means that 6 binaural voices will be stacked. And then 3 is 6 binaural voices stacked in an octave. Now keep in mind, and I'm sure someone's going to complain about this, I'm just doing this with a sawtooth, and so that you can compare the different functions. And I mean, you could do this with any timbre that you create. So this is an infinite possibility of timbral creation, but right now we're just listening to what notes happen when we choose these different settings. So I'm sorry, it's not more exciting, but yeah. So at least you're getting a sense of what these things do. So 4 adds a fifth to the octaves. So yeah, now you got this big, huge thing. I'm continually amazed at how good this thing sounds. Okay, so, I mean, because, yeah. Anyway, so 5 is, are you ready for this? Major chord. So in the Unison section, what you're really doing is just playing around with a couple of different ways of all of these many voices being stacked. So pressing Shift gets you out of that mode, and we're still in Unison. And it's still staying on that. Let's see if it stays on that after we choose something else. Yeah, so it'll probably stay like that until you change the preset or change that setting. Okay, so that is our voice assign section on the UDO Super 6.